I'm going to react to the fakest Minecraft speedruns on the planet, like this guy who runs over to this tree to get some wood, but when he breaks this leaf he gets 2 sticks. I'm not sure if that's even possible, but I don't think it is. Let me know in the comments. And you can clearly see there's something wrong when he starts to actually craft some items. He puts in enough wood for 1 crafting table and manages to get 16 back. This is actually pretty funny because I obviously know that's not possible. Once again he goes to craft an axe, but somehow gets 32 wooden axes, and this is just obviously impossible, but it's pretty funny. Just look at his face. He then uses 32 axes to go and kill some cows, but now it begins to get a bit more messy. He tries to craft some sticks and gets a lifetime supply that unless you crafted 228 pickaxes or axes, you literally couldn't get through them even if you tried. He then makes 2 stacks of wooden pickaxes, so he's obviously planning for a mining trip, and then he goes to get some cobblestone to try and craft some things, but makes a very big mistake again. Just look at his inventory. He messed up pretty big. After cleaning out the inventory full of wooden pickaxes, he levels up to make 4 stacks of stone pickaxes. He also decides to fill his inventory with paper and also some books that basically have no point at all. He then goes for an explore and manages to find a massive ravine that has some iron for him to go and mine, but you probably won't expect what happens next. After of course all of the stacks and stacks of crafting tables that fill up his world, he starts to actually exploit, and I'm pretty sure he just becomes 99% of the global supply of iron blocks. Just look at that. He has over 15 stacks of iron blocks. That would literally be nearly 9,000 iron ingots. The runner nearly actually crushes his game for all of these items he crafted, so he has to restart mid-run, which I'm pretty sure isn't allowed, but at this point, I don't think any of this is. You guys are all probably bored of all of this over-the-top crafting, so let's get it moving. He crafts some iron armor as well as a shield so he can kill some zombies that are trying to kill him. He then runs around the corner to get some sheep and get some wool. He shows off his godlike bridging skills, until he falls and dies. But he really isn't even done yet. He spawns back in and runs over to where he dies to get all of his items back, and then finally goes on the move by crafting a boat and sailing across the ocean to find some land. And eventually he finds a lava pool to grant him access into the nether. But I'm actually being serious here, he is better at speedrunning than me. But instead of going into the portal, he decides to run around for a bit and then actually get into the nether. He runs a marathon to get to a blaze spawner and then leaves after killing 1. Very efficient. The crafting tables came back and most likely annoyed him to where he just runs away from the entire mess. And now with the gold, you can literally see the amount of lag there was just from 1 craft. I'm very surprised this game can actually hold this because mine definitely couldn't. This piglin must be so rich right now. The rest of the nether was very repetitive, with him getting some ender pearls and then using his ability of massive items to just get himself a ton of eyes of ender. And then in the end, he actually has a very long fight until he decides to go in creative and do it that way. This next speedrunner spawns in a tree and is also looking down, so it's already invalid. He runs over to this village that was right next to him, and inside of this blacksmith chest, there was some insane loot that I've never seen in my life. Like, there's no way that was legit. He runs over to get some wood and then makes a crafting table. At least the crafting isn't multiplied this time. Conveniently, there is enough iron and iron blocks from the blacksmith to give him enough to make an upgrader anvil. I have no idea what this is, but he probably just made this himself. He opens another chest and manages to get himself full leather armor that when he puts it into the anvil, it literally gives him full diamond armor. I swear this guy just gave himself full diamond armor, and it gets even worse because he makes some wooden tools that when he puts it into this anvil, it gives him full iron tools. Now he's only 3 minutes into this run and has stuff that people would take hours to get. He takes all of his stuff and makes a bucket to then run away to go kill some pigs to most likely get some food. He also uses the lava pool to get into the nether, but this actually really made me laugh because he cuts the video and not only did the sky change to night, but he also lost some blocks and also managed to move to his last hotbar slot in the process. And as soon as he gets into the nether, you can most likely see why there was a cut. He lands on some luckily placed slime blocks that lead him to a chest that also has a ton of diamond blocks. But I think he just found a very, very rare thing, as it is clearly the awesome Minecraft Easter egg. And everyone should know that it just gives him some really good loot. That at this point, he could literally just go and kill the ender dragon with basically no effort at all. My guy literally has a stack of bedrock. Like, who is even going to use that in a speedrun? Oh, and don't forget the stack of netherite ingots. That could literally make him 16 sets of netherite armor. He obviously needs it. But at this point, I don't even know what's happening anymore because he goes into the anvil again and puts netherite on his diamond armor. And then he just upgrades his iron tools straight to netherite as well. I might be wrong, but I'm pretty sure that is impossible. We also find out the use for a stack of bedrock as he literally just towers up back to his portal. He could have just used dirt, but I guess he wants to just flex on everyone. Eventually, he makes it to the stronghold, and it really takes him that long to find the portal room. They made it so there's a portal block instead. Finally, the runner is in the end, and you can clearly see at the top right corner, he has some effects on that. Yeah, that's a lot of damage. He starts off by running around mindlessly, breaking grass, and then runs over to get some wooden logs. He then makes a crafting table, and then starts breaking some stone to get some stone tools. But, he makes a stone hoe. I have no idea why anyone would want to do this, but when he puts it into a crafting table with some seeds, he manages to get himself a stone super hoe, and it gives him speed 1 while holding it. That's actually pretty cool, but obviously it makes sense that this run is fake. He then runs over to the sheep and kills it while using a hoe, and then does it a few more times. I actually think this is torture, because it takes him so many hits. He finally makes a stone sword to then run into this cave to kill this zombie. He then runs deeper into the cave and manages to get some coal, to then go back out and start killing more animals. What is wrong with this guy? Finally, he manages to get himself some iron, to then hopefully make full iron tools. But he only has enough to make an iron sword, pickaxe, and a bucket. The runner then finds his way to a ruined portal that he makes insanely high. But wait, where did he even get that obsidian from? Yeah, I have no idea either. The run goes back to its very fake ways again, but the runner making a gold super hoe that turns dirt into gold while tilled. And this was actually very OP. You can literally just trade with piglins forever. And you can see this in action, like just take a look at this. This is actually unreal how overpowered this is. Halfway through this, he gets down to 1.5 hearts, but kills a skeleton in time to not die. And he gets back to work of doing the tilling, and in total he gets 33 golden blocks. That is insane. But finally he goes into the nether and spots a nether fortress pretty early onto the run. He's obviously very lucky while also cheating, because the chances are actually pretty low. But this seed was obviously tampered with, because as he runs around the corner, there is a chest in a place that is obviously impossible, that contains a lot of hoes. Like, a lot. I'm genuinely curious what some of these super hoes do, because they must be pretty good. Okay, so the diamond super hoe is the totem of hoe dying. Yeah, that's pretty self-explained. And then the netherite hoe is even better, by having the ability to smite everything in the radius of 15 blocks. That is actually super OP. There's also a chest with some average stuff, like only a stack of ender pearls, it's nothing much. And then on his way back to the portal, I think he genuinely tries to kill himself as he runs into the lava multiple times and also jumps off things that are very high. But I guess he has quite a lot of his hoe of undyings to keep him alive. He now makes his way to the overworld and then gets to the end, and he tests out the netherite hoe, and let's just say it's a bit overpowered.